RWP is brought to you by Porch Beer Entertainment.
Buffalo chicken pasta.
Buffalo chicken pizza.
I know. I'm just messing with you.
Oh man.
There's no such thing. Do you think there's such thing as buffalo chicken pasta?
Yeah, they've made buffalo chicken mac and cheese, so it's the logical next step.
I think that would taste delicious.
I might try it.
So you saw me on your doorbell, huh?
Huh?
You saw me on the doorbell?
Yeah.
So you guys put batteries back in that thing? Remember it was low on battery. It wasn't working, right?
Oh yeah, you got to charge it every so often, like every couple weeks. I think it's got like a shelf life of about a month,
Nice.
depending on how much you use it. Yeah, no. That's what Ashley was watching you walk up the steps, put
I
a
did.
mysterious bag on the ground, then leave, and then it's funny because then you can chain them together. And I looked at the next notification. It was the Amazon man looking back at you driving away, and putting a package next to that box. And then looking around and walking away.
I think he was confused.
And then
yeah.
the next one was us rolling up and picking up the crap.
Yeah.
But there was no reason.
The Amazon man was very confused because he's like, we're both clearly going to the same place, and this guy is clearly not a package delivery man because he's just placing a bag and a backpack on the porch. He doesn't know he could tell I didn't know the way of the land when it comes to package delivery. We haven't. Actually, we have seen each other recently. I was going to say we haven't seen each other in a while. We haven't done the show in a while, though.
Yeah. Probably for the best.
Probably. I agree. I think we should change it to monthly. Are you down for that idea?
Sure.
Or maybe like bi-yearly.
How about this be the last one?
That's fine. That's fine with me. This is the last episode of the Random Word Podcast. So you made a lot of comments about the vest.
I did. It's a new look for you.
It's not a new look. I've worn this just not in front of you. We see each other one day a week. I don't wear the same outfit every week.
So it all started on New Year's. The New Year's party is you.
What do you mean it all started? Like
you came in sporting this different look. It's not a bad look. It's just like it's not classic Ben. It's more modern Ben. So
what does this mean?
So you're dressing as like modern Ben right now, and you keep saying, like, this is what I normally wear, but I know what you normally wear. And it's a polo and jeans to work. And this took a lot of extra Ben effort.
There's no effort here.
You have a couple
shirt with a vest on it.
You have several pre-planned outfits. I know this about you. And these are new additions to your wardrobe. So I've never seen you wear that before. And it's a different look to Ben. It's Ben 2.0.
I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about.
Because you had that jacket on you.
So what you're saying is normally you look like a slob, is what you're saying to me, and then
no, you. Look
I wear
like
a jacket, and suddenly you're saying I'm dressing like Frank Sinatra.
It's not a jacket. It's a down vest.
It was a look
with a denim shirt underneath.
On your New Year's, I had to ask you to.
You have the jeans and the Nikes. It's just very.
I did have to ask you on New Year's to turn the heat down because it was getting hot.
You wearing your jacket the whole night.
I can't take it off. It was part of the look.
I know. That's what I was saying. And that once you refused to take it off, I knew that
my butt was so sweaty.
This is one of those outfits.
You know, one of those nights where you like come home and you're just like, it's just like a mess down there. It's like a swamp.
Well, they twin terms swamp butt.
Yeah, but it's like worse than a swamp. It's like the worst swamp ever.
So
the Everglades?
when you get your
Amazon,
when you have your condition of sweating all the time, is it everywhere?
It's everywhere, buddy. It is everywhere.
Damn, that's tough.
But we had a good time at the party. At the New Year's
like
party.
You did, so
no,
that's why I asked.
I don't know what you mean.
Everyone kept asking. They're like, "Hey, is Ben okay?" And
no,
I was like, I don't know. And then it started freaking me out. So I was like, "Great, Ben hates it here."
No, nobody was asking if I was okay. That's a lie.
They didn't ask you. They asked me. Why would they ask you if you were okay?
No, I had a great time. What do you mean? I brought ham sandwiches.
Yeah, they were a huge
sliders.
hit. Yeah,
they're always a huge hit. I know my audience.
Yeah,
people.
But I mean, they just thought that you weren't enjoying yourself, and so then Ashley and I were worried, and then we had to text you. And then
this is a lie. This is a lie.
You didn't seem that excited.
Well, and then you texted me at like 8 a.m. on New Year's Day. It's like, of course I'm sleeping in.
You wouldn't take another beer, and this was like 1 hour in. You had like one beer.
For some reason, I am.
Everyone was like, "Oh, Ben, he's acting weird, huh?"
You like expected me to be the clown of the night?
No, I expected you to look like you were enjoying yourself.
What if we just like the entire show was just this, just us having a conversation about like, Ben, you've changed.
I'm saying, is something wrong?
No, I had a great time.
You're changing the look. You're changing your appearance, your demeanor.
It's 2019.
You're right.
This is 2019, Ben.
So the
In
Ben,
fact, you know what?
the Ben that didn't want to be at my party is 2019.
I'd like
Ben?
to get some of the childish stuff away from this show, and I'd like us to move into more intellectually stimulating conversations. For instance, I wrote a new format. Topic number 1, the current state of Israel. Topic number
Israel,
2
actually
is what?
It's Israel.
Where'd you hear that? What do you mean? It's Israel.
No, it's Israel.
Israel? Oh, okay. Sorry. Are you from there?
No, but I've
No,
read
you're from Bethlehem, though.
I've read a book once in my life, and I suggest.
Oh
you
yeah, I
do the
forgot.
same.
In books, it tells you how to pronounce.
Yeah,
the
it
words
does,
inside
yeah.
the book. No, this is 2019, Ben. I dress nicer. I might get a haircut, make it like more professional, and then
So
I'll get eye
you're
surgery.
admitting that this is a new thing.
No, it's not a new thing.
Yeah, it
I've
is.
worn this outfit
It all started on New Year's
around
Eve.
you. I don't wear these outfits
I don't understand why.
because I
that
want
would
you to
be-
like feel better about like your look because you dress so fancy. I want to show up normally and like be like, oh, you can be like this slob, and then I made the mistake today of wearing the vest, and now you're like, oh my god.
No, even without the vest, I would have been like, you wouldn't wear that shirt without that vest. Is what
No,
I'm
you
saying.
can't wear just that shirt.
That's what I'm saying.
You
Is
gotta wear
that
the
this was a
vest.
planned outfit.
God, I hope we just continue talking.
So did
about
you
this.
get these outfits for Christmas?
No, I've had this.
Ben,
I've had this
you
for
have-
a year. You can ask my
Look
wife.
me dead in the.
I've had
You
this.
have
I've
not
had
had
this,
that. You
I've
have
worn
not
this
had
outfit
that
many
vest.
times.
You
No.
have not
I
worn
have.
that many
I have.
times. I swear to God, you haven't.
No, I have.
What about the little jean jacket combo?
Now that one I got for Christmas.
Okay, yeah.
It was a
yeah.
bomber jacket actually.
Yeah, I know what
I
it
fly
is.
bomber planes.
Yeah,
now.
I'm familiar with the bomber. That's why I said you kind of look like intern Will,
When I
all dressed up.
yeah, he does look nice usually. And when he's here, he's not here. Worst intern we've ever had.
He showed up once and never came back.
When I arrived to work this morning, I thought someone was sending me a message because I've got like bobbleheads along my window and like wedding pictures and things like that. Along like I have a windowsill. Next to
I
my
thought you were
desk.
talking about it in your car, and I was like, "What is your front dash just lined with bobbleheads?"
No, on my desk at work on the windowsill, I've got bobbleheads, wedding photos, and like other artifacts and things like that.
Artifacts,
And
fossils that
I
you
showed up to work
collected from your
today,
digs.
and one of the bobbleheads was broken, not in like half, like 20 pieces, and it was on my desk, and it was kind of like arranged as if like you see it on those killer shows where like the body's chopped up and then they like arrange the body, though like the arms are chopped, and it's like you
They
watch
put the
these
body
shows.
back together.
Kind of, but like so they spread it out. It's like a narco thing.
No. I'm familiar. So they narcoed your bobblehead.
So that's what I thought. I thought somebody was sending me a message. I was like, who are my enemies? Like, what have I done? And
There's a way better way to get that point across than breaking a bobblehead.
and then there was a note next to it, and it was like, Sunshine Cleaning Crew is sorry for our mistake. This happened at 8 p.m. last night. They wrote down the timestamp, which I thought was weird. And then they were like,
check the cameras.
they're like, we apologize for that. Oh, that's true. We don't even have cameras. And like we will pay for all the damages and things like. And they left a phone number.
Okay, so what you now need to do
Is
start the con.
yeah, pretend the bobblehead was worth $1 million.
Maybe a little bit less, maybe like
Okay, so
700,000.
I started high, maybe move down low.
I would Google the most expensive bobblehead you can, and then say, "Hey, this was a collector's item." You can at least get $200 out of that thing.
That's what I'm thinking. I think I need to run. I think the long con is the only possible move now because whatever that cleaning company is part of probably a bigger organization that has the money to be able to shell out. I just don't want anybody to lose their job. The poor guy or girl that knocked over. I don't know how it happens too. Everything else was intact. And but I thought it was a message because all the pieces were like broken apart and it was a lot of pieces and I was like, oh my God, it's happening. This is what.
Again, like, are these bobbleheads like made of clay or something? Like what?
I don't know.
Porcelain?
I don't work at a bobblehead factory. I wouldn't know.
I would imagine they're plastic.
I think they are not plastic. They're like handcrafted.
I just feel like in order to get into as many pieces as I'm picturing, like you have to apply significant force to the bobblehead.
That's what I'm saying, man. Somebody was out to get me. Is my opinion. But I don't know. I'll update you as because I think I'm gonna call that number. We should call that number right now. I don't have it on my phone. Man, that would be great.
Next episode
we're gonna call the cleaning company. But we are in the new year. And we hit 1,000 downloads over break.
We did. I was actually about to review how was your Christmas?
Christmas.
Do you have any Christmas traditions that you sort of go through the motions of? Like, maybe you all like. So I used to do like a one gift Christmas Eve.
Yeah, we do the Christmas Eve stuff.
The one gift.
It's usually my
Christmas Eve.
sister gives her gifts on Christmas Eve, except for this year she's like, I left them at home, and we're like, okay. So I'm glad we all gathered here today. We do like on Christmas Day, my dad makes these like rolls that are like cinnamon rolls, and they're stuffed with marshmallow, and it's like every Christmas. It's really the only thing I care about on Christmas Day is eating those, and we only eat them on Christmas Day, Christmas morning.
Interesting.
They're delicious. No, but I did have the day before Christmas, I went to the doctor, and I was in the initial stages where you're like go in the room and the nurse is like taking your vitals, and there's a little measuring thing against the wall for your height. And she's like, go stand over there, and I'll measure your height. And I was like, okay, great. And
Were
then
you wearing that outfit?
No, I was not. And she puts the thing down that measures the top of my head. She steps back. She goes, all right, you're 6'2". And I was like,
no way.
I was like, I'm not. I was
No.
like, that's what I said. So I was like, no, I'm 5'11 and a half. And she's like, all right, you're 5'11 and a half. And I was like, whoa. Like, I don't get to just decide that, right? Like, that's like a medical thing. Like, I don't get to choose, because then I could be like, you know, I am 6'5" and black and belong in the NBA. The doctor's just like, oh, whatever you say. She literally said, okay, when I said I'm 5'11". She didn't even like measure me again. And then I even had said to her, I was kind of like, is that really how medicine works? Like, is that how doctors are? Is that how height works? And she's like, no, I just trust you.
So what she admitted to doing is absolutely not reading the thing at all. Was just being like, you're taller than. Was she taller than you?
No.
You were taller than her.
I was definitely taller than her.
So
She's
she
just
probably-
all people are 6'2" in her
She
eyes.
probably looked at you, was like, it's past the 5 on the scale. It's probably somewhere closer to 6 foot.
Yeah, I was like, if I could get her to write that down, I'm 6'2".
I'll let you
men
in
on
on
6'2".
a little thing. So I thought I was renewing my license. It just got reissued.
Oh.
So
where you get the same license
yes,
again. I need to get a new one because
with no like extension on the I almost said due date when I have to turn my license in for the A+. And so Ashley and I went and got our license updated.
Yeah.
And hers got renewed.
Mm-hmm.
Mine did not, but mine got updated. So the new address and all that jazz.
Yeah.
It's sure great, whatever. But as you're filling out the paperwork, I could have changed my height to whatever I wanted.
Wow.
My eye color to whatever I wanted. They don't fact check it. They just put it on the card.
Wow.
So besides taking your picture, like they have no interaction with you at all. And so I was really tempted. I looked over at Ashley. I was like, hey, I could be like 6'3" right now.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm going to put down 6'3".
As a society, I guess we get to just decide these things.
And imagine that, like the cop pulls you over and they're like, oh man, 6'3".
This must not be the suspect.
They also ask you for your weight on the form, and they don't put the weight on the card. So I think they're just collecting that information.
Just they have like a running list.
But imagine
behind the desk.
Like the cop's like looking, he's like, oh god, like you could even be like 6'8". You get out of the car, and he's like, what happened?
I think we just get. I lived my life thinking that people would tell us how tall we were, and now I think we're discovering that we can just decide.
Height is just a concept, man. It's like
that's
time.
what it is.
Time is a concept.
I had no idea about that.
We invented time. You know what time it could be right now? 2:00 anywhere.
Ooh.
We just decided it was 2:00.
Is that? But it's about the sun, isn't it? Because the sun rises and they're like, it's morning, and the sun sets and they're
right,
like,
but our
it's
hours, minutes, and seconds are a construct that we invented to track the sun moving across the sky.
So we could be like, it's 5.
Yeah, so
at like any point of the day.
We could have gone like 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 and been like, hey, it's 25 hours right now. Or 25 sandwiches, and that means...
That would really hurt the concept of like 9 to 5. It's like, oh, you're working a 3 to 45 today?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like we could have measured everything in solely just minutes. Imagine that. Like,
wow.
Oh, yeah, our flight, is leaving in 682 minutes. I don't want to do that calculation.
Wow.
But that calculation wouldn't exist. So all of time and everything is just something we made up to understand it better.
So we could make it even like shapes. You could be like, oh, it's triangle.
Yeah.
And be like, oh god,
See,
triangle.
So the basic,
I'm late for
like you
work.
said, time is real. How we measure time
This is
made
an
up.
educational podcast, people.
Right.
This is what we're teaching the people.
So, like, what would you rather say? What would you rather measure time with than numbers?
Letters of the alphabet. We're hitting.
That's 26 letters.
Yeah, 26.
I'd probably do
So
something.
that would only be 2 more than the regular way we do it. So maybe the alphabet twice. Oh, it's BB. Oh, my God.
Late, it's CF.
Yeah, exactly. Well, no, that wouldn't be twice. I meant like A through Z and then double A through double Z. But you have your own concept. Hey, it's time.
Well, mine was going to
You can make up your own.
Mine was going to be something like sort of light,
Okay.
very bright, darker.
Sounds like a poem. Light, very bright.
Bright.
Don't take away the night. That could be your song.
Let me out of the basement. And so it'd be like how you judge it outside. So like early morning, oh man, it's some light outside. Morning, oh, there's light outside. And then like high noon, what we know is noon. The construct of time that we know is 12 o'clock would just be, it is very bright outside. And then as it gets towards the evening, you go, it's less light outside.
Mm-hmm.
It's dark outside. And then nighttime will be the constant.
2019 show, people. This is exactly, new Ben loves this. 2019 Ben loves this conversation.
Like, right now, it's
What time is it?
Right now it's dark. It's
Dark.
dark time.
Dark time.
It's dark time right now. But also, in the
sounds-
winter,
It's dark time.
In
Soon it will be light time.
but if you think about it, in the winter, it's dark time earlier.
Ooh.
So in the summer, daylight savings still exists, but we would call it.
So in the summertime, you actually probably stay at work a longer amount of time. And then during the winter, they'd let
Yes.
you leave early because they'd be like, it's dark.
That's just it, because they measure it off of the. So daylight
Interesting.
savings exists, although it's called light savings.
I can't believe we're talking about this.
Anyway,
We spent 10 minutes analyzing my time at New Year's, and then we've spent 10 minutes discussing time.
But so over the Christmas break,
Sure.
They like all those, like they play the Christmas Story nonstop.
Yeah.
And Home Alone 1 and 2 play. I watch that every year. And I don't know if everyone makes jokes about it. I know
They do.
Macaulay Culkin's making like a comeback now.
I guess, yeah.
You know what he did is he changed his middle name. So he put out a poll on Twitter,
Uh-huh.
and he was like, "Hey guys, I'm legally going to change my middle name. Please decide it for me." So he got all these submissions. He narrowed it down to 5 things. I forget what the list of 5 was, but one of the choices was Macaulay Culkin.
Macaulay Culkin. Macaulay
It would be Macaulay Culkin.
Wow.
And so what he did is that was the most popular choice, and he went and
Makes
changed his name legally.
To that?
So his name is now Macaulay Culkin Macaulay.
No, isn't it Macaulay?
It's Macaulay
Culkin.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's his official name now, legally.
Wow.
He went out and did this like huge, like almost PR stunt. I mean, he's getting money for it.
So that's your version of him having a comeback?
I guess.
Is him just changing his middle name to Macaulay Culkin?
He's like relevant again.
Say that really fast. Macaulay Culkin.
No. It's
Macaulay
Macaulay Culkin.
That, so you have like a rhythm to it. We
Yes.
need to get him on the show. That could be part of his comeback.
He might do it. I'm sure he's.
He seems like the type of guy I could just reach out to on Twitter and he'll be like, sure, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, he seems pretty down with it. But
Yeah.
so I'm watching this, and this year I watched it with like a different shade on, because like normally I watch it every year and stuff, but I'm not like paying attention to it.
Sure.
I loved it when I was little, and then it's just one of those Christmas movies you watch during the day or the night on Christmas Eve. And we watched 1 and 2 back to back, and I came up with like a different spin on it, and
Yeah.
I think it's actually was written as a horror film.
It's terrible
From
parenting.
it's a horror film from the point of view of the robbers.
Oh.
Think about
okay.
Saw.
Yeah.
This was
Yeah.
literally Saw before Saw was invented.
Yeah.
These 2 guys, they break into a house. Sure.
They're just looking to
Hey,
improve their livelihood.
It's
though.
not good. They broke into a house. Yeah.
We've all been there.
The things that happened to these 2 people, they should
Yeah.
have been dead
Yeah.
about 25 minutes into the first movie.
No, you're not wrong.
And what about this? Like, if you and I are breaking into a place, if I start going down the steps, they're all ice. If I fall down concrete steps,
Yeah.
and then land at
You'd
the
be dead.
bottom, not even that, I wouldn't be robbing that house. I would be like, you know what? Hey, it's not worth it. It's not worth it today, guys.
Yeah.
Let's pack it up. Let's go home. Yeah, he like in the second one when he's in New York, and like this kid just talks to that pigeon lady, and the pigeon lady like they get this deep conversation about love, and Macaulay Culkin's just like
Macaulay Culkin.
Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah.
It's just like
Call him by his birth name, please.
like the woman's like, I just don't know if I'll ever love again. He's like, wow, that sucks. And he's like, that happens sometimes, I guess. I don't really understand it. And she's like, you're so right. It's and then he throws bricks at them.
Yeah.
And that one dude, Merv, I think it was Merv or something. It's Merv and Harry Merv or whatever.
Yeah.
Gets hit in the face.
With
a brick from 3 stories. I've seen people do the calculations. That man's dead after the first brick throw.
Oh, 100%.
If he's not, second one, 3 and 4, the man shouldn't be walking. He's in a coma. And then he gets electrocuted, and you see his skeleton.
You got to imagine that experience kind of screwed this kid up for the rest of his life. Because he had a taste of violence.
He did. It's like the beginning of a serial killer.
That's what I mean.
That's why for like number 2,
yeah,
he was so ready. You remember when he poured all that kerosene in the toilet?
I know what I'm doing. Just imagine crossing that kid. He's like, cross me.
It's methodical. Imagine what he became when he was grown up.
Yeah.
Like the next logical step is like Dexter.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. He was chopping up bodies.
Yeah, 100%.
He was chopping up bobbleheads and putting it on.
But it's also just like the one thing I noticed is like he didn't tell anyone that this happened. He cleaned the whole house, and the parents are like super sorry. Also, I'm sorry. Ashley and I were talking about this. Like, those parents.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry. Like, first of all, I didn't realize the argument they had in the beginning. And the mom is just like, well, maybe you should wish that you didn't have a family. And then he's like, maybe I will. And then he's left. And like, how do you not realize? And I'm sorry, that's the only alarm clock they have. And they all sleep in.
Yep.
It's just, I love watching it. And what we should do is like an actual live commentary of the movie next time. Oh. We can put it up and you and me can just riff on this movie.
I think that's a good idea.
Because I was dying. I was laughing so hard at some of these parts because I'm just like, this is ridiculous.
Oh,
but
yeah.
He doesn't tell a soul, right? And then, guess what? The criminals get the Wet Bandits, gross name. They get out of jail. And then in New York or whatever, it happens again. And then he doesn't even tell the family that, guess what? Hey, when you left me, I got attacked by criminals, survived. Guess what? You left me again. I got attacked by criminals, and I apprehended them. He gets no credit.
No, and social services would have definitely intervened at some point.
100%.
Removed him from his family, and then Macaulay Culkin would have been in the system at that point.
Right.
Which he probably should be because of how kind of screwed up he is in reality.
We got the za.
Oh, man.
We got the za. Put that in your lunchbox.
So, what we're going to do now, so in 2019, the different thing here, Salty Dalton, is I am going to hit the intro. We're going to hear it, and then we're going to go right into the show. So, get ready. Are you ready?
I mean... I guess.
Is there any final thoughts before we start the show? We're already like a half hour in. Oh, my God. All right. This is a new intro, by the way. 2019. I know I played it for you, but for those at home, this is new. This is brand new, and it's probably terrible, but we're going to go ahead and play it anyway. All right, we're going to start the show. First show of 2019. It's already going swimmingly.
Put that in your lunchbox. Hit it.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Yet I've flown from one side of this galaxy to the other. I've seen a lot of strange stuff.
Arise, spiders of Satan! Spears shall be shaken! Shields shall be splintered! A sword day! A red day! And the sun rises!
Broadcasting from the porch or the basement or whatever realm hasn't banished them yet. It's the Random Word Podcast with your hosts, Ben and Salty Dalton.
Hey, Rando Nation.
Rando Nation. Dylan McCluskey got a
F*** off, Dylan McCluskey. Just kidding.
makeover.
Yeah, that's Dylan's brother, Darren.
Darren McCloskey.
Welcome to the Random Word Podcast 2019. Things are a little different.
Ben's got new outfits that he's been wearing religiously.
That's true. And we're here. And we've got a lot of... I guess that's really the only change. I was going to say we've got a lot of changes going on.
Not really.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's about it.
But yeah, did you like the intro? I know you had a lot of thoughts earlier about it.
I don't know.
You were very happy to express them. I'm just kidding.
No, I think it's different feel. It's cool. I mean, I love the Lord of the Rings reference. So at any point in time, that's like probably my favorite part.
Okay. All right. Do you want to play it again? No, just kidding.
Did you notify Dylan McCloskey that we're no longer using?
Well, we use his at the very beginning. People heard Dylan McCloskey before our pre-show banter. That is still happening. The Porch Beer Entertainment. He still promotes Porch Beer.
Right.
This man, who I don't remember his name, is part of our new intro. This is the Random Word Podcast, the show where we discuss words and things and stuff and inventions and romantic books and
Randonation. WWWFXN.
Did you notice
random
in the intro I kind of put like a scanning type thing, like it was scanning different radio stations.
Right,
so
yeah,
there you
definitely,
go.
like,
a little
you
shout
know.
out to you.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate
No
it.
problem. That's the only shout out you're getting on this show. So with the way the show works is if you are a
Can I get a
first-time
whisper
listener,
out over here?
is the way the show works is we
tough
present
crowd.
a word every week. We talk about that word. We talk about things having to do with that word. And then we get into a lot of other stuff. We got a lot of the same classics here: Fishbowl, Bad Book Club, Do's and Don'ts, Call Center, and a new segment that will debut later on. It was pretty much a one-time thing because it has to do with this time of year. But that is it. You can also reach us on social media at the Random Word Podcast on Instagram and on Facebook, the Random Word Podcast, and email us.
Wait.
Wow, that was really clear.
Porch Beer Entertainment.
Well done. And you can email us at
the Random Word Blog at
you go. You're better at
gmail.com.
that.
That's the Random Word Blog at gmail.com. We can be reached for your comments, questions, concerns, grievances, general discomforts, thoughts about Ben's outfits and how he's changed his personality to
I have not
match
changed my
them,
personality. I promise.
and
So
how he didn't enjoy our New Year's party.
I loved the New Year's party. So
Abby was into it, but everyone kept asking me if you were. So
no, everyone kept asking me.
well, everyone who's there, but it's just still a lot of people. There were about 9 people who were like, "Hey, is Ben okay here?" And I was like, "Yeah, I think. I don't know. He hasn't said otherwise."
I had a great time with that Benedito guy.
Benito.
Yeah,
Benedito.
He was nice. No, I liked everybody there. So I have a new drum roll for you this year. Brand new.
Okay.
This is going to intro you into the word.
Is it a drum roll? Because it's a brand new drum roll.
No, it's brand new. It's brand new. So I'm going to play it. It's completely different.
Do I have to be ready to give the word right after?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So you'll hear it. You'll know exactly what to do. But this is brand new. All right. Are you ready?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. 2019. No, so you're supposed to say the word after that. It's a different drum roll than last year. It's a different roll.
I thought you were promising something better. Therefore, I'm not gonna do the word.
No, that's the new drum roll. For
Yeah,
this
I
year.
don't
It's
like
different
it.
than last year.
Yeah, I understand the joke you made. The bit. It's a funny bit. I don't like it.
No, it's not a bit. It's a new drum roll. Here,
Right.
Do you want me to play it again?
It's a different snare. Yeah. Right. Yeah. No, I got it. No,
Well-
I can't, in good conscience, do that.
But you have to tell people the word, though.
The random word.
Wait, how about... I don't really have anything else that works there. How about that?
Oh, down, boy, down. What did that turn into?
I don't know. Oh, here we go. How about...
Well, the random word is. Oh, you want me to say it?
Yeah, sure.
No. Find something better. Brand donation.
Problem is you have like a minute.
Just drag it out over a minute.
Here, I'll skip ahead.
Your random word is shambles. Shambles.
I think that works for now.
If you can just cut out that end piece, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's shambles.
Shambles. Shambles.
S-H-A-M-B-L-E-S. That's a B-L-E-S situation. Shambles.
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 It's a noun. The definition is a state of total disorder.
Like this show.
This show is
Yeah.
often in shambles, and there are very few things that can fix it.
What if I just don't
Hey,
say
you
that?
remember a resolution, buddy? Remember not chewing into the
Oh.
microphones?
Completely forgot.
Yeah, I can tell.
Hold on. You patter a bit.
Patter a bit. Pitter patter. Pitter patter. God damn it. It's so hard to find good help. Anyway, so that's a random word. That was my sentence. Shambles. We're here to increase your vocabulary.
What if that was our new bit for the new year? Is we just say the word, one sentence, and then we move on.
Isn't that already sort of
Yeah,
our
that's
bit?
kind of our bit. I like how we used to, like, very early on, we provided
what do you
so
call
much
them?
explanation about the
Anecdotes.
words.
We'd have
Yeah.
anecdotes about it, yeah.
Nowadays, it's just right onto the inventions. Shambles. I think. Man, I was trying to think because I didn't know this.
Your
was gonna be the
bobblehead
word.
was in shambles this morning.
I should have saved that story. Hey, actually, I can cut out the story from earlier. So my bobblehead, right? When I got to work this morning. No, but I don't have anything. But we can use that as my sentence. My bobblehead was in shambles this morning when I arrived to the office. Is that good?
Cool.
Are the
Cool.
people educated?
Cool.
We're the worst. This is the worst show that's been ever made.
It's not off to a good start, but I feel like we'll get a little looser.
Yeah, we'll
Gotta
find
shake
our...
the rust off. It's been 2 weeks.
Man, just think about that. It has been 2 weeks. All right, we're going to move into Fishbowl here. That's a great intro for it. All right.
Hey, Rando Nation.
So we're
Welcome
skipping
in.
sponsors. We're going to go into Fishbowl. We got some new sponsors for next week. We'll definitely present those. But first, it's time for one of our favorite segments, Fishbowl.
Oh. Welcome to Fishbowl.
It is time for Fishbowl, the segment where we present ideas.
Innovations, where we
Yes.
change the industry, where we change the norm.
George Mason University, where innovation is tradition.
And where construction is also tradition.
That's true.
That's an inside joke. You wouldn't understand.
Yeah, you wouldn't get it, you listener, you stupid idiot. So, this is a segment where we present our inventions, and in front of the judges, the panel of fish. Would you like to go first, or would you like me to give the first invention of 2019?
I'm ready. I was born ready.
All right, here we go. Your time starts now.
Thank you, Fishes, for taking the time to hear my invention.
No problem.
Right now, I'm coming to you with a solution to a problem you've been experiencing and had no idea. Public transportation. It's great. You know, cuts down on emissions, cuts down on traffic, helps the environment. But guess what? You know why people don't like taking public transportation? It's because of all the weird people that sit next to you on the trains, buses, planes, and automobiles.
True.
What I'm introducing to you is a special anti-interference device. It's called Inflate-A-Person. You sit down on your seat. There is a seat next to you. Guess what? Next stop's coming up quick. What you do is you hit the button. You deploy Inflate-A-Person. An inflatable person that looks lifelike is now sitting next to you. Guess what? That seat's taken. But you know it's not real. Feel free to stretch out your legs a little bit. And never travel in fear. Inflate-A-Person by Mattel.
Inflate-A-Person.
And you're playing with the dials while, like...
I
and
know.
I was having hearing cut in and out in
so
all my
sorry.
different ears, and I don't know why you
The
did that.
audio, for some reason, on this episode is just a disaster. Inflate-A-Person. So it's a person that you blow up and you put next to you.
Yes.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah, literally in any situation. And guess what? A better thing is if you're on an airplane. You know, there's already somebody assigned to that seat next to you.
Okay.
Deploy inflated person. And you get the airplane model that comes with the ticket.
And you can use that if the plane goes down as well.
It's also a raft.
To float on.
Yes.
Okay.
But so like in the plane situation, you pull the inflated person, and if you buy the plane model, what happens is it comes out with a ticket in its hand, and then all you have to do is you write in Sharpie the seat number, and so when that person who's supposed to sit there goes, "Excuse me, stewardess, is that what?
Yes.
Stewardess, this person's in my seat," and she goes, "Well, he's got the right seat number. Maybe you're a terrorist, and you're not belonging on this plane. You don't belong."
Do the stewardesses normally call people a terrorist right off the bat?
Well, when they're trying to sit in a seat that is not theirs, yeah.
That's fair. Okay.
That's like a number one indicator of terrorism.
I will go.
But yeah, so basically it's a anti-personnel device. It wards off people from entering your zone, your space, your chi.
I will go. 3 stars.
All right, start off the new year strong.
3 stars.
Inflated person by Mattel.
It's pretty good.
Inflate your person with a person. Inflated person.
Inflate a person. Okay, 3 out of 5 stars. I will go
Wait,
with
what do
mine.
you mean 3 out of 5? There's a 5-star limit?
Yeah.
So you just called my idea okay.
Yeah.
So you would rate your enjoyment at the party 3 out of 5 stars? Oh my God!
No, I'd say that was
Mid-show is the best time to tinker with all the sound.
I don't. I mean, I'm just trying to get it adjusted because I just don't.
All this is going on YouTube, right? They're gonna see this.
So, inflate a person got 3 out of 5. I'm gonna go ahead and give mine here, and it's okay. I think it's kind of funny. We'll see. That sounded like a gunshot. That was so loud. Whoa.
Oh, Jesus. My ears are bleeding.
I'm gonna start that again.
You know, there's probably a reason why they edit in sound effects later.
Yeah, I guess. All right. Here is my invention.
Hit me with it.
Okay. This is appropriate for our next segment. You're sitting on the couch, right?
Yep.
It's a little chilly. There's a draft in the air.
Okay.
And you're reading a book. One of your favorite books.
Redwall. Yeah, keep turning it up. That's going to really fix the situation.
Maybe it's a Billionaire Bad Boys Club, whatever the name of the book is. Well, guess what? This new invention is blooks. The way this works is it's a blanket and book combination. Read in comfort style.
God.
So the way it works is you get the book, right?
No,
and the book kind of comes with a long enough blanket that it can be wrapped around your whole body. And the book you can kind of fit your hands in, almost glove-like material. And it's almost kind of like a Snuggie, but with a book attached to it. So blooks, blanket and book. Reading comfort and style.
Oh, my God. Okay. Questions.
Sure.
I'm sorry. So is the blanket have font on it? Like, are you reading the blanket while wrapping
No, the
yourself
book
in
is
it?
sewn into the blanket.
Whoa. Like, each page, do you have to keep moving the blanket to read it?
Yeah, like so it has little gloves.
So you're saying, like, how they handle, like, plutonium. You stick your gloves into that machine.
Yes.
In order
That's how you turn the
to turn a
pages.
book.
But you're underneath the blanket.
And the book is sewn to the blanket, right? Meaning when you finish that book, it becomes useless. So you
Did not think of that.
You throw that in the trash. Go
not
buy a
think of
new
that.
book. Do they even come in different fabrics, or is it just a little?
Actually, the words are sewn into the blanket. So as
you're
you're in the
reading
blanket,
So
yeah,
like,
you read the
hey,
blanket.
oh, sweet! I snuggled up with
It's
chapter 5 today. I can see it out of the corner of my eye.
Yeah. Yep. And then so it's like comfort and style.
Why not just hang it on the wall so you can read the whole story without having to like?
Well, that's just not Blook's model. You know, this is what they do. So Blooks.
I mean,
Read in comfort and style.
everything about your idea is super great except for the idea.
Appreciate that.
Except for the actual content, like, because you have the tagline, you have the cool name, you have the like the speech, you have like the everything you need minus the actual thing, you know?
Blooky. We could change it
That
to that.
sounds sexual. Like a blookie, I think is really close to
Like
what do you
what's
call
gonna-
it? A
like what-
blumpkin?
Oh, we're not talking. We'll get into some
Gross.
sexual stuff in the next segment.
Rando Nation, your home for innuendos.
So how
Oh, my
many?
voice is so gravelly.
How many stars?
Man, I don't know. 1?
2.
I said 1 though. No, that just moved your total up to 4.
4.
No.
4. I just keep pressing it. 2. Okay, 2 out of 5 stars for the Blookie. All right.
Ew, no. Call it something different.
Let's move.
Sounds like a really
on
gross Wookiee.
to the.
Oh, that's a blookie. Oh, so it's gonna help me make the parsec run?
This is the segment
Yeah.
that is sweeping the nation.
Nation.
This is-
Rando Nation. HMXLMNOP.
All right. No messing around with the sound on this one.
Welcome in, one all, to the Random Word Bad Book Club, where we take bad books and we tear them to pieces. For your enjoyment and ours. Mostly ours.
This book is called the Alpha Billionaire Boys Bad Boys Club, Book 1. And again, the tagline is his wants, his demands, something, your pleasure, you're welcome. Yeah, something like that. I didn't write it down this time.
This is a nightmare.
This
This is like watching a train crash in slow
we
motion.
got to power through. It's a bad book club.
So we're reviewing chapters 9, 10, and 11. If you would like to follow along, please download the book. It is free through the
Yes.
Kindle app, but just use your browser, not the Amazon bookstore app. It's 100% free to read. Trust me, you won't regret it. And if you've missed the past chapters, go back.
Yeah, we can't
back to our
recap 1
previous
through
ones.
8, but basically there's a girl, there's her soon-to-be stepbrother, and there's a lot of sexual tension.
So it's a poor girl who marries into a rich family whose father-in-law makes her work for his son.
Yeah.
And his son apparently is some sort of like weird sex dude.
Yeah,
We
but he's
don't
the
know
CFO
yet.
of the company. So I believe when we last left,
They were getting lunch together. Bethany and Damon
Yes.
had gotten into a cool limo or something.
Yes.
And they went to go eat lunch at a fancy restaurant. He takes all the interns out to dinner or something or lunch to get to know them.
so to start chapter 9, Damon informs Bethany of what he calls the rules.
The rules.
So the way the rules work, Salty Dalton, is there's 3 of them. They are no drama, no lies,
No complaints.
Which, again,
It seems like a weird 3 rules to live by, you know?
yeah.
Why aren't the rules like succeed,
Yeah.
do better?
Like, just do great at your job, work hard, play hard.
What kind of like that speaks to like the organization he runs? Like how much drama and stuff did he have? Maybe because he was trying to
Yeah.
bang everyone.
That probably leads to a lot of complaints, my guess would be. But no complaints.
And then the 4th one was don't call the cops ever.
Yeah, don't ever call the cops. Don't report me to HR because you know I'm clearly violating a lot of rules. So they go to the restaurant. He informs the rules. Damon orders for Bethany, and then she kind of complains, and then she goes, you know what? Actually, I love crab and could eat cheese until I'm blue in the face.
Yeah.
So she was initially upset at the fact that he ordered for her, and then she was like, you know what? I love crab and cheese, which is apparently all we're ordering at this lunch restaurant.
And he's like, then hush. You've broken 2 rules.
Right
no
off the bat.
drama, no
She
complaints.
just learned these new rules.
So the fact that she was upset that he ordered for her meal without asking her was grounds for her to break these 2 rules.
He complains about her analyzing him. I'm too complex for you to figure me out during the first week of your employment.
Also, I did highlight that. And then the other thing that he said that was bananas, or that she said was, she's thinking this in her head. This is Bethany's internal monologue. The fact that someone could be so handsome and have so much handed to him in life and yet be domineering in a master-slave sense was sickening. What the?
Yeah.
What the?
That's quite a leap. He wanted power.
Master-slave. Like, she she says she's innocent, but like I feel like she's like really plugged into the S&M world.
Yeah, 100%. As we will find later on in the show, in the book. So he talks to Bethany about the interns. He basically shits on Ben, who's in charge of the interns.
Yeah, there's
Ben has no stamina or courage.
Why does
like
he-
he's going
okay.
to war.
No, but stamina again with
Stamina,
the,
yeah.
like the running comments. Like
Yeah.
he easily couldn't sprint for that long.
and courage. I don't think he needs
Fighting
that.
dragons over here.
They run all over him, and he often falls short of pushing our initiatives through the younger generation.
He's not even that old.
She bites her lip, which is, again, a common theme with
Yes.
Bethany here. And he talks
I think
about...
she bites her lip like.
Yeah, it's kind of disturbing. He mentions the girls that like him at the office, and that he would never date someone your age, and I would never be interested in somebody your age, which we will find ends up he breaks one of his rules about lying, because he and Bethany, clearly something's going to happen there.
It's just and so he's like, yeah, I'm not interested in any relationship when it comes to work, and like she gets upset about that
Yeah.
after she's spending the entire time being like, oh, he's disgusting.
And then she was like...
Yeah.
yeah.
No, please continue.
She had hoped. She was like, yeah, she was upset. She was like, what did she had hoped for? Him to bend her over the desk, and give her reason to use his name profanely. It's like, okay, Bethany, I guess we're going there very quickly.
I'm sorry. For all she says, she's just like, man, I really want this guy to bang me, but I hate him.
Yeah, she's definitely said how much she does not like him either. So basically, he ends up. Well, she groans a little bit while she eats her food, which is uncomfortable because.
Oh my God! Yeah, hold on. Yeah. So the waiter put the food down. Bethany groaned softly.
Bethany was not homeless. I don't
me
know why she treats food like this is the most incredible thing in the world.
She actually
Her mother
lived in a
did-
house.
She lived
Yeah,
in a house.
she went to
Her
school.
mother did okay. She went to college. She had food on the table.
So this is the best part. Is I'm gonna pretend to be Bethany here. Okay, put the food in front
Sure,
of me.
sure.
This is what. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. That's what I imagine the
Yeah.
sound that she just
For him to
made.
get so ramped up. Yeah.
The word picture that Allie Parker just painted was one that's disgusting. If I was a waiter and handed anyone food and they made that sound, I'd call the police.
Yeah, and he even brings up, I assume your sensual sound of pleasure is toward the food. She laughs. She groaned softly again as she eats the crab.
yeah,
Again,
Damon.
first time she's had crab in her life, I guess, even though she loves the crab and cheese combo. So they eat. She makes a comment about him being masculine and breathtaking. And then, so basically, Damon's thing that he wants her to do is basically tell all the girls who she just started at this job.
Yeah.
Damon wants her to go around and tell everyone, all the girls, that Damon is not interested in you all. I know I just started here.
Doesn't like you guys. There's nothing going on here.
Yeah, they don't. And then also he wants them to not tell anybody that she's going to be his sister soon.
I love how his reaction to this is like, let's not tell anybody. Let's pretend that we're actually intimate
yeah,
and not related.
That's a great strategy.
And that's going to throw everyone off the trail.
So he wants them to not tell him that. So basically he wants her to tattle on everybody. That's really what a great way for her to get in with the crowd.
It would only. Oh, hold on. I didn't see this sentence. He keeps saying, and one girl keeps trying to visit him daily. I assume that's the redhead.
Yeah.
It would only take one moment alone with her, and she could file a sexual harassment suit against me. Is he admitting that, like...
Also, a great way to avoid sexual harassment? Don't sexually harass anybody.
There you go. Wow. Woo, cracked the case wide open. I don't think Allie Parker understands how offices work. And that a CFO, first of all,
Yeah.
he's a CFO, not a CEO.
Why is the CFO interacting with interns this much in the first place?
So a CFO does carry a lot of weight. They
Yeah.
control the money,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But they are not the head of the company.
No.
In most cases, the CFO is not the owner. I don't know. It just depends. This is a made-up world, but this.
She keeps kind of looking at him and her heart aching in her chest at what would never be, and she's kind of getting into her feelings more and more. he invites her to stop by the next day and fill him in on her conversation with the other girl. So he wants her to go tattle and fill her in. She needed a stiff drink, she says to herself. Basically she spends the rest of the afternoon kind of working through her emotions. Again, brand new at this job. Maybe concentrate on the job at this point. Damon hadn't been inappropriate. He'd kind of been a little inappropriate, but it wasn't beyond him to make her feel much more with the way he watched her versus anything he might say.
Again, I don't.
She's kind of work. She does finally get to work, and then Damon shows up asking if she's going to that club,
masquerade, the weird club that sounds.
We have to wear masks
sketchy.
to dance.
Yeah. His arms across his chest, the thick muscles of his pecs pressing through the
tight shirt, Damon.
Is he shopping the Baby Gap?
Yes.
Because also when he walks, he flexes his pecs.
Yes.
Your chest doesn't contract when you walk. I'm sorry, it doesn't.
The vision of undressing him rapidly sweeping her away. So she lets him know that she's going to the club as well. And he says, no, I'm not interested in dance clubs. And she asks him, don't dance? And he says, only when I have to. Which is a weird thing to say.
Yeah, only when I'm forced to.
And then he does explain what that means. He says at weddings, which, makes sense. All right, yeah, you have to dance at weddings. And then his second reason to be forced to dance is when you want to seduce someone. So he doesn't dance unless he's seducing or at a wedding. And
those are two really weird,
very different scenarios.
And again, Damon and I are different people.
Sure.
He's obviously 6'4", ripped to shreds, CFO. But my dancing isn't really a good mating dance.
Yeah.
It's just like a silly dance.
Yeah, I don't really.
So
dance
I can't really
to
look
seduce.
at a girl and then dance.
I
and
dance
they're
to
I'm
entertain.
going home with that. Yeah.
And then he asked something. I don't understand this statement. Did I miss something in the book? Because then they go, "Are we going to be able to get away for the weekend in Jamaica?" Did they talk about a Jamaica trip earlier?
One time,
Okay.
all it was Kent was like, "Hey, you're coming to Jamaica for the wedding. It's where the wedding is, and you can bring a friend."
Okay.
No mention of it until this
because I had
exact
completely
moment.
forgotten.
Yeah, and Damon's. Did Damon say it? They don't say who says it.
It doesn't say who says it. And then
Bethany does. 'Cause
Yeah.
Damon nodded. Yeah. So she asks Damon if they can get away for a weekend in Jamaica.
So then somebody's calling his name. Sadie's calling Damon's name, and then Damon chooses this moment to then pull behind Bethany, pulling her hair to the side and fiddling with the clasp of her necklace. So basically, a girl's calling Damon's name and walking into the room. He goes behind Bethany, starts messing with her necklace. And then the girl's clearly like, am I interrupting something? Because this is clearly a weird situation.
He goes, yeah, could you leave?
He says, you need something, talk to Linda, who we know is the very sexual by not being sexual secretary.
Yeah. Is she even a secretary? That's a great question.
That is a great question.
I've got a theory about all this after the chapters we review are done.
He lets Bethany know that the necklace that we had never heard of before looks great on her, and he loves the way it teases him to want to see more of your skin. We're starting to get inappropriate territory now, Damon.
And keep in mind, Sadie's watching this whole thing.
Sadie's there.
She's hearing it. She's watching it. If she doesn't go to the police, I will, Sadie.
And she huffed loudly, Sadie, and walked out of the room. And then Bethany says, I thought you were going to kiss me. What a mess that would create.
What a mess that would create.
What a weird statement there.
No one will know you're my soon-to-be stepsister. And I think planting that seed is the best way to remind everyone that I'm unavailable. Look at this goddamn logic. Hey, you know what? It's best if people don't find out we're related. So how about we pretend to be together as a couple?
Yeah, there's not like a difference, right?
No one's gonna look into that at all.
Yeah, there's no like middle ground of just being like professional.
Or how about you just don't touch your breasts in public or whatever he was doing.
Yeah, he says, I promise not to push you past your comfort zone, at least not yet. He turned and walked for the office.
I love this last
His
line.
movement smooth. His butt
but
fitting
in his slacks far too well. Can your pants can you fit into your pants way too well? Have you ever gone in the dressing room and be like, I can't wear that out. That's too perfect. That's a danger to society right there. Those buns right there.
Too well. His butt fit in the slacks way too well. Bethany kind of recovers, exhales a bit, and
he'd been so close, just a bit more, and his lips would have brushed hers. How close was he when he was saying this?
How do you adjust the necklace?
So Bethany's the pop screen. Hey, Bethany. Hey, I'm just talking right here while Sadie's watching.
I don't know. So she goes home. That other brother who was the funny looking one, Matthew,
Who acts like Rain Man in order for his dad not to hire him at a successful company.
also like way too.
If I act like I'm insane, and they're giving him medication for this.
Yeah, Matthew greets Bethany with his famous bear hug, her reward for a long day at
He's
work.
also a fat guy, yeah.
Yep, we know that.
He's portly.
He informs her that an art dealer in Seattle, obviously the real art hotbed, and they want to see a couple of his paintings. Not sure how they ever saw one of his paintings, but apparently an art dealer in Seattle wants to go, and it's going to be right after the wedding. And he just asks Bethany right away that, hey, we could go, and then we could totally get 2 rooms, no problem.
Just out of the blue, like as if that wasn't an option, and as if that wasn't de facto.
I'm a millionaire, but we could get 2 rooms.
And he says, I just don't let too many people know about my talents.
Yeah.
So this would be, hey, guess what? If you're a world-class artist, I'm pretty sure Kent wouldn't be like, oh, that sucks. Wow, you're such a terrible son. Instead, he acts like a psycho, takes medication he doesn't need, and paints pictures.
So Bethany wonders about, well, Damon let her off to go to it. Apparently Matthew called Damon, and it was Damon's idea that Bethany goes with Matthew to it, and that basically Damon is also going to go for sure. So it's going to be...
Okay. Oh, I see a scene somewhere down the road where this is just going to be real weird.
Yes. So lust rolled over her as she reached up and touched the small heart necklace her mother had given her for her 16th birthday. So I guess that's what she touches when she's horny, is the necklace her mother gave her for her 16th birthday.
Gross. Apparently... Yeah, they talk about that. All they do is just talk about this, and he wanted her in Seattle with him, and something told her it wasn't for business. Obviously, it wouldn't be for business because she's going with Matt. Second of all, or familiar reasons at all. Could she be so cursed? What?
Into chapter 10 we go. Next morning, uneventful. People talk about
Hump Day.
Hump Day always gets a laugh.
And be inappropriate in the hopes of garnishing a life. A laugh. I mean, I'm sorry. Did they not read the interactions that happen in this office? Everything is inappropriate. In fact, Hump Day would probably be the calmest, low-key joke anyone has ever told at Mackenzie and Bryant.
She starts wondering about Krista and Jake, about them being around her. Is it going to be awkward? We haven't had a Jake mention in a while, so it's nice
only
to
been
have
a
that.
week. Keep this in mind.
Yeah.
All of this that's happened has been in less than 1 week. Like she's literally graduated, and it's been 1 week.
Philip knocks on the door. New guy. I'm sorry to scare you. I'm Philip, the newbie. He announces, kind of like her, because she'd only been there for a couple days. And his accent is putting him from Australia or somewhere far away.
He also has dark blonde hair, which I thought was interesting.
Dark blonde, and his voice could melt chocolate, by the way.
Yeah.
But she ignored all that. Her own emotions.
Probably just like Jake and used his rugged good looks to have women think the opposite. So Jake does look good.
All
but
guys
he's
were
ugly.
like Jake, says her, except Damon. So he talks about how Sadie...
Oh, my God. I'm losing my mind.
Sadie doesn't like her. She asks about he asks about going dancing. They're both saying they're going to go. So she talks to Philip, and then next thing you know, this girl confronts her. Sadie confronts her about the new guy being hers. He had only been there,
literally 30 minutes.
A day. She says, yes, Philip, you ogre. He's mine. And don't think for 1 minute whatever is going on with you and Damon matters. He uses everyone here. We've all had her turn in his lap.
That right there. There's a track record?
Yeah. Philip is mine. Blah, blah, blah. And then it's funny because then Sadie mentions, Kent thinks of me as a daughter. I'll tell him something about your ethics being a bit off and you'll be gone. It's funny because Bethany is going to be his daughter.
Actual daughter, yeah.
We got that there. Blah, blah, blah. She goes to her... I'm sorry, reading a sentence here. To end this little section, the girl... she was trouble and the kind that Bethany planned to dispose of. She's talking about Sadie. Damon was right about one thing. The girl would scream rape from the rooftop if she thought it would get her 15 seconds of fame. Yikes.
What the hell?
So Bethany is heading to her appointment with Damon. And
how many appointments does she have with Damon? They had lunch. He's met her in his office like twice. I don't understand what's going on.
So she basically heads to Damon's office, walks around Linda's office, and she's basically looking for Damon. She doesn't know what's going on, and that will lead us into our excerpt here. Actually, no, this is the...
Welcome to Bad Book Club.
Right.
Excerpt reading starring Ben and Salty Dalton.
Again, this is in Chapter 10, Alpha Boy Billionaires Club. Here we go.
Kick it. She knocked softly on the door. No sound coming from the other side. How could you tell? How can you knock and not hear sound? Pressing her ear to it, she heard the soft mumble of his voice and knocked again. She thought she'd heard him tell her to come in, but apparently nothing could have been farther from the truth. Being careful to open the door quietly, she slipped her head in and looked towards the desk.
By the way, if there's any children around, go ahead and take them out of the room.
She knocked but didn't hear it from the other side.
Also,
She's not on the other side.
She thought she heard him tell her to come in, but nothing was further from the truth. The vision of him seared into her memory. His eyes were closed and his head was back as he sat in his chair. His hand bobbed up and down, his chest rising and falling much too fast for anything he should be involved in at the office. He bit his lip as he whispered to someone. Bethany wanted to shut the door, needed it to close it and run. He had someone under his desk, and she could only imagine what the woman was doing. As badly as she needed to go, her curiosity wouldn't allow her to. So this is what we've been waiting for with this book. It took 10 chapters.
A little bit of heat.
We got a little bit of heat going.
The temperature's got a little higher in here.
Oh, God, I can't wait for you to have to read this.
Oh, Jesus. What
especially
section?
the last sentence.
Oh, God. Why would you do this to me? Okay. Her eyes moved down towards the top of the desk, and she saw a mop of blonde hair being pulled up, but only slightly. His hand was lost in someone's hair. A blonde. Linda? ? Surely not. He groaned softly and shifted, his hips gyrating forward as he opened his eyes, his focus on the door. A smile touched his mouth as Bethany caught his attention. Her heart stopped in her chest, fear freezing her in place. That's it, baby. Take it all.
God,
Such
no.
a good girl.
No.
So talented to fit so much in your...
No.
God. And let me... Oh, no. Can we just out all that?
Yeah, probably. He never took his eyes off of Bethany, his hips lifting again as Bethany moved back from the door. A soft moan echoed from the room as she moved back, and she heard the sound of her name on his lips as he beckoned the woman kneeling in front of him to do exactly what he told her to do. I'm going to be sick. Bethany carefully shut the door, turning and pressing her back to it as she tried to catch her breath. Thankfully, Linda wasn't in the lobby, or embarrassment would have stained them both. Sadie was right about Damon. He was a player, and had plenty of women on his lap and everywhere else. What if she thought? She would show up and things would change? This is what you get. He's your f***ing family. Grew up and stopped being a pervert.
You know what? That'd be great if she actually stuck to that.
Took that advice,
you know?
yeah.
If she actually listened to herself. She walks away, blowing everybody off. Blowing.
Well, I put that in there because she mentions how she like.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry, that part's just me.
Oh, it's like Allie Parker.
She mentions she like blows. She's like I blew Ben off. Because he'd like asked her something, and she's like, "I blew him off."
Blew
It's
you
like,
off.
It's like, Allie Parker, why did you put that in there?
Yeah. She was physically ill. Not at the fact that Damon was a disgusting bastard, but at the realization of how badly she wanted to be the blonde kneeling before him.
Oh, no.
Bethany, please stop drooling. She left without telling anyone. That's good for her job. Good standing there. Her care, not for her job or for anyone else, but for the desperate need to get away. She needed to breathe fresh air and clear her head. She needed to talk with Krista, who would be the only one to understand.
Yeah,
Why
Krista,
would Krista
you know when
be
you walk in on your boss being.
Krista, you remember like when your boss last year was doing the same thing to me, except you weren't related? Oh yeah, totally.
A text message caused her phone to buzz as she walked towards her car. She waited until she was seated in the blessed silence to check it. Shock slammed into her. It was from Damon. "I'm coming to dinner at Dad's tonight. Be there. No lies between us. No drama from you. No complaining when I give you exactly what you want." So
Turn this text message into the police.
also, he lied. He told her he's not interested in anybody in the office. And he has a member of the office
You know
doing
who I
a
think?
special
You know who I
act.
think that is? Remember that girl that Bethany saw outside of the office the first time she went in?
Sure.
The older blonde lady.
Yeah.
And Linda was like, I don't know why she tries to kiss you every time. And he had like a lipstick smudge. Yeah.
Right, that's probably her.
I bet you it's her.
That's a good theory.
He's probably got 6 contracts with like 4 billion people.
So that was quite an exchange. Also, I like how Damon immediately texts her and just, no complaining when I give you exactly what you want, says Damon. Final chapter here of this segment. So chapter 11, she, the drive home was torturous for Bethany. She's confused and scared. And what do I want? What do I want to do? She basically is weighing on playing it off as a joke, I guess, never mentioning seeing him in the office with the blonde, even though they made clear eye contact. Also, he said her name a lot, apparently. Bethany's name.
I'm sorry,
Was
the
the
girl's
blonde
not
at
just
all
like,
hey?
that's not, what do you mean that's not my name?
How do I always get myself into this? That's interesting.
Has this happened before, Bethany?
That's a good question. Somebody's tapping on her window. It's Matthew, who just, again, has nothing to do in life except for paint, I guess. The almost stepbrother that acted like family and not a starving lion on the sexual prowl. That's
Good,
Matthew.
because
the big dumb
anything,
painter.
yeah.
Basically, he...
and Martha Stewart is whipping up some like heavenly smell. And is it Mexican? Hold
that's
on.
the big question.
That is the big question.
It's sauce for chicken. Smell of tomato. So it's like tomato chicken, something like that. She was a big girl now and more than capable
Also,
of pushing
like,
Damon
Matt's
back.
making things about, like, comments about, like, the good-looking brothers coming, like, you don't need to seduce him in your business attire. I feel like everyone is in on this thing. Like, her mom was like, yeah, my daughter can be, like, your guys' sex thing. Because, like, at this point, everyone's, like, saying
Everyone
it.
wants them to get together.
Everyone's saying it but isn't saying it, you know?
Which is uncomfortable in itself.
It is fine. It's fine. And one thing, like, sure, if they weren't related, like if they just met each other by working there, great, whatever. It'd be a weird 50 Shades thing. The whole incestual theme is making it a little hard to swallow.
So Bethany's pacing the floor. Her mom's asking about it. Damon arrives.
Did you highlight the last section in this paragraph? The last sentence?
No. What is it?
What page are you on?
I'm on page... I don't... It's on my phone. It says like 1071 of 4083.
Okay, I'm on 1068. She was a big girl and more capable of pushing Damon back, putting him in his place, reminding them that he wasn't God's gift to women. Yeah. Too bad he totally is. You're just playing into this. Anyway.
Damon arrives, says hi to Karen and Bethany. How are the two most beautiful girls in my life doing? I don't remember Karen ever meeting Damon yet.
I didn't even know that her mom's name was Karen.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Never brings that up.
Damon gives her a hug.
What's Bethany's last name?
Don't know.
We know Kent McKenzie.
Yeah,
or
we know her
Bryant
dad was like
whatever.
a crack addict or something. Says, I'm proud of your work at the office to her. Asks where Matt is. The smell of him wafted over her. Cologne mixed with sex. She stifled a groan, his lips brushing by her ear. Interesting hug there. Also, another groan warning there. Like what you saw, Beth, he nipped at the edge of her ear. His actions hidden.
I'm sorry, he's just nibbling her ear in the dining room. No one is seeing this. No one is. This blows my mind.
Oh, this is, and then Matt and Damon interact because Matt shows up. Damon makes a comment about Matt's weight. He says, "Actually, you're much bigger than me. What the you been eating? Babies? Why is that like? That's not a phrase. Like nobody's ever said that in the history of the world.
Human children."
And then Matt jokes back, says, "Yep, and I'll eat yours too. So stop making so many." Weird bit for Matt and Damon there. They laugh around.
Damon and Bethany are officially the only two normal weight people in this universe they've developed. Everyone's fat except for Damon and Bethany. So maybe it makes sense that they're like gonna get together.
They all share kind of a joke about her being his sister. Again, this is really weird. Matt says, "Let's go watch the sun go down on the balcony." Normal activity there. And then basically Bethany and Damon stop for a moment, or Bethany offers to go grab some beers, and Damon hangs around. Matt's getting some food, blah, blah, blah. Then there's a private moment here between Damon and Bethany. He says, "You didn't answer my question," and she's like, "What question?" And then, "Did you enjoy watching me this afternoon?"
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh.
I'm sorry. And then he just like pushes her against the wall of the house.
Yeah.
And starts feeling her up is really what this is. There's a lot of words.
She closed her eyes. She groans again, her body betraying her. "Did you like it, Beth? Was that you? Was that you under the desk?" Oh, God. I'm not saying the next sentence there.
And then, yeah,
he drags his nose along the column of her neck.
He's basically just dry humping her on the balcony.
Yes.
No one else is seeing this. Matt went inside for several minutes to grab beers and a plate of food to eat.
He basically keeps telling her that, I know that you wish it was you. She needed his kiss beyond anything she remembered wanting. And he says, I just let her be you. And I can't read that sentence there.
Wait,
and then I just let her be you. And harder
yeah,
than God.
Yeah.
He nipped at her mouth.
Also, so you know when if you're at work and you're on your phone and your boss comes up and you close your phone so fast.
Yeah.
Or if you're on Facebook, the act of doing that so fast makes them look at you. You got to do it very slowly. Apparently, they're doing this right as someone's walking out. So what's he lean up against the wall and goes "Oh, just kidding." It's so suspicious. Everything about this is suspicious.
Matt shows back up, walks out with food, drinks and food balanced in his arm and against his chest. Again, they're about to eat dinner, I thought.
You see the part about how Bethany moved away from the wall, brushed her shirt down in hopes of hiding her.
Not inconspicuous at all.
Hiding her budded nipples.
Oh, I did not see that part.
Those are two words I've never wanted to say less in my entire life.
I don't like that. They talk about the redhead. They end up talking about girls for a while. She's thinking again about her and Damon, like she always does.
She's just like, "Oh God, he's so terrible, but I can't help but want it." That's the whole theme of this book, actually. Close the book. You're done. You don't need to read any more chapters.
A shiver ran through her, his tongue darting out to lick at his lips before he took a drink of his beer. Weird.
Let me show you what that looks like. Okay,
go ahead.
I'll be Damon.
Go ahead. Yeah, that's disgusting. Dinner's ready, by the way, after they had all this food.
Martha Stewart comes
out there. And then Damon tells Matt to go ahead. He wants to talk to Bethany about something really quickly. The balance sheet audit for a small manufacturing company. Very specific example of why they're talking. A little too specific there.
His stance whispered confidence. His eyes hungry with unfulfilled lust. His stance whispered confidence. I didn't want to ask you anything. The taste of you on my tongue has been driving me wild. Did he lick her?
I don't know.
Oh, he bit at her ear.
Yeah, he bit at her ear.
Okay, so...
she makes a joke about not being the blonde that was underneath his desk. And he says, "I find it funny that you think I like blondes." She says, "You don't. Seems odd that one was crouching beneath your desk today. One answers your phone, and the pictures in your office highlight a different one altogether." He asks her if she's jealous, and she said, "Nothing to be jealous of. I'm your sister, remember?" And then he whispers, and essentially, "Not yet, you're not."
Well, wow. Yeah, dude. Okay, so definitely that. I feel like this is just gonna just get real bad. Just real bad. I don't understand, and all the reviews said this book ends on a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Is it the eventual arrest of Damon?
This is the most sexual chapter we've had so far.
Yeah, and
it's going to...
It only gets worse.
Yes, it does.
And if you pick that excerpt, because I feel dirty, Ashley...
I'll be bleeping out part of this.
Ashley, you've read it too. It wasn't me. Ben picked it out for me to read. Okay, it's not my fault.
Time for do's and don'ts.
Do it! Just do it! I don't think so. Just do it!
Do's and don'ts. The segment where we give do's and don'ts to specific events and, situations. So, don't chew with a microphone. So this was actually a subject that we talked about earlier, the movies, Home Alone, but we're talking about the actual situation. You're home alone. What do you do? What do you don't do, Salty Dalton?
So what you want to do is you're going to want to leave on some lights, but you're not going to want to leave on too many. See, the lights have to be believable. So you can't have the bedroom light on 24/7. And because if you're a robber and you're looking, be like, all right, they're not pulling an all-nighter. This looks like a family home. They have to be like in believable spots, and then you have to turn them off and on throughout the day.
Okay.
Because if this truly was a Home Alone situation, they'd be staking it out.
Okay. That's good. And I do agree. The light trick is something that you really have to like psychologically think about.
It's a fine art.
Yeah.
You can't just start flicking on lights.
My do is if you're home alone, do move everything and put them at different places in your house. So when your significant other comes home, it's an entirely different house. And they're like, did I walk into the right house? And you have like a good 10 seconds of like good prank material there.
I thought you were going to say move everything in front of the doors to make sure no one can get in.
No, I mean literally like move the couch around to a different position in your living room and the TV and stuff and move it around entirely.
Okay. My don't is probably going to be don't throw a house party. You're going to think this is the time that you do throw a house party.
Sure.
But if every movie I've ever seen, throwing a house party is going to lead to 1, a murder, 2, the cops, or 3, something pretty bad.
Yeah, my don't was just don't get murdered.
That too. That's a good one, dude. I'm gonna write that one down.
Don't get murdered when you're home alone.
Don't get murdered.
Next do or don't, purchasing wine. I would say, here's my do, Salty Dalton. Note the nodes. Nodes are something to do with wine, I think.
What?
I've never drank wine. Nodes, like, it's a thing with
It's
wine.
notes.
They're called notes, not
Tasting notes. Are you talking about tasting notes?
No, it's N-O-D-E-S, right? Nodes. It's like a wine term. I know what I'm talking about.
Is it?
Note the nodes.
Note the nodes. Note the nodes. You heard it here first. Note the nodes. Random Word Podcast 2019. You would know a lot about wine in an outfit, wouldn't you?
I'm a wine guy. I don't think I've ever even drank wine before.
When you're
in my entire life. I've never had wine. I don't know what it tastes like.
You probably love white wine. It's like juice. You're a juice guy.
I do
drink apple juice all the time.
I like me some juice.
So my due for purchasing wine is make sure that you expressly state that it is not for minors. Because the first question they're going to ask you or they're going to think about you is like, yeah, what if this guy's just getting it for underage kids? You just level set it immediately by going, hey, man, this isn't, I know what you're
very
thinking.
posh underage kids.
Yeah.
Like it's a gang that loves wine and cheese and watching
an
like
Italian
foreign
gang.
films.
Yeah. It's the Italian Job minis.
Ooh, Italian Job's a good movie. We should definitely watch
Mini
that movie.
people driving mini me's.
Italian Job. Oh.
Italian Jobs are really good. The Mark Wahlberg version,
Yeah,
the
of
original.
course. Yeah,
Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, Mark Wahlberg.
And it had Seth Green in there too.
Yeah, he was like the guy. He's
The
like, I'm going to
Napster.
turn all the lights to green at the same time so we can get in that way. It's like, no, that's not how light systems work.
Also, like, I'm sorry to digress, but there's one scene in that movie where he like flicks the lights, but there's such a delay.
Yeah.
Where like he flicks the light to green, and like the other traffic column had already kind of been blocking the road, and this guy just floors it and makes a left turn and slams into a car. Like he made the conscious decision to run into that car.
Had nothing to do with the lights at that
At
point.
all, yeah. So yeah, just make sure you just like it. Just be like, hey man, this isn't for kids. I'm not.
And you don't even have to wait for them to ask you that. Just say, yeah. My don't buy a bag with holes. If you're buying a wine bag, make sure there are not holes in it. Like double check.
Don't buy a bag with holes in it.
Yes.
So you're saying before you purchase
like
a
the
bag?
wine bag. The wine bag. You know how you can buy wine in bags, I think? I don't know. I've never bought wine before. I know there's like a box wine. Everyone's like, oh, don't buy the box wine. And then everyone's like,
Box
it's actually
wine's-
secretly good.
It's actually pretty good.
Okay, well, don't buy the bag of wine with holes in it.
Okay, that's super good.
Appreciate that.
Super good one right there.
I'm
Yeah,
filled,
definitely.
I'm filled with advice.
Yeah. So a don't for purchasing wine. Do not pair it.
With pizza?
Yeah, but then again, there's actually that's
Yeah.
a business idea I thought about.
Oh.
Is that you should have a what do you call it, sommelier?
Uh-huh.
A sommelier is
Yeah.
someone who
Yeah,
puts
I
out
know.
wines.
I know.
Okay, you know
I'm
what a
a wine
sommelier
guy.
is, but you've never had wine before.
I watch a lot of Top Chef.
Okay, yeah, you get a sommelier for bar food and stuff like that. So you'd be like,
that's
hey,
good. I like that.
people can love wine, but be like, hey, you know what that one goes with really well is a pizza.
You should have saved that. for fishbowl. I can cut it out. We're cutting out the rest of the show. Might as well.
This show's garbage. I don't know. I don't. Don't drink and drive.
It's good advice. It's good advice. Some people forget that. Parking lots. Do use the camera. Like, I use the backup camera every morning when I pull into the parking lot. Like, when I back into my spot at work. If your car comes with a camera, go ahead and use it.
Good. I'm glad you're giving them express permission as the lord of all cars.
Yeah, if you got a camera, use it.
This just in, backup cameras.
Doesn't
You're
Ashley's
allowed
car
to
have
use
like a
them.
good backup camera?
Huh?
Doesn't Ashley's car have a good backup camera?
It does.
Yeah, so use it. Does she use it?
You weren't using yours at all, were you, when I was telling you how to back in today?
Well, I was using your instruction.
And it worked.
But I normally do use it. It doesn't help me in that
didn't
situation.
look like that.
Oh,
I
I'm
wish
sorry. It's
we-
like a curved parallel parking.
Do for parking lots. You want to save a space in a parking lot, right? It's busy. There's a lot of shopping, especially all the after Christmas sales. Bring chalk,
Sure.
caution tape, and a cone.
Okay.
What you're gonna actually scratch the cone, murder weapon.
Okay.
What you're gonna do?
Screwdriver, hammer.
Yeah, anything like that. You're gonna go to that space. If you need to make sure that you're gonna get it, is you send someone out ahead to go find one. They're going to draw the chalk outline of a body, put down a weapon with a little card that says 1 in front of it, and then caution tape the front with a cone. And then, you know what? No car's going to park there in the right mind because that's an ongoing investigation.
Okay.
And then what you do is you come in and then you just park right over it and no one knows, none the wiser.
That's very elaborate, but I do think that's a good idea. Don't worry about the lines. The lines are just there. Like, there's no actual lines on the ground. Somebody painted those lines, or they put tape down or something like that. Don't worry about the lines. People will figure it out. In the mornings when it snows and the lines in your company parking lot are covered by snow,
right?
We're able to figure it out. We're able to understand the system of, I'm going to park next to this car and this car is going to park next to this car. We get it.
The great thing about cars is like they're pretty much squares.
Yeah,
if you
we
look
can all
at
figure
them.
it out. So ignore the
if you
lines.
park the squares next to each other, it forms its own parking lot.
I'm down with lines. Be a trendsetter. Park. Don't care about the lines when you park.
Okay. My don't forget to tail people to their parking spots. So everyone loves it when someone else follows them to their car. And what you can do to get them there faster is actually ask them personal questions like, hey, how are you doing tonight? Do you have a family? How many kids do you have? And they're going to quicken their pace, get to their car, and peel out of there, leaving you a brand new spot that just opened up. Then you apply the do from this scenario, crime scene it up, and you've got yourself a reserved parking spot.
That's a good combination.
Yeah, that's a callback. It's an industry term.
That is your do's and your don'ts. We are close to the finish line here. Do you want to go over these New Year resolutions?
Yeah, so we did reservations.
Resolutions. We got reservations for this table.
Yeah, we did New Year's resolutions on the show for our last show of 2019, excluding the best of, and we asked for the listeners to send in some of their resolutions, their goals for 2019, and we actually did get a fair amount of folks right in, which is actually kind of really overwhelming, and we appreciate the support considering we just started this, and to get this many people kind of involved.
Yeah, this is our first episode.
To get this many people kind of involved in what we're doing has been really great. So we figured we would share some of the best ones with you all today. So Ben, you can start, and we'll just alternate.
Sure. So we had Travis, who lives in Virginia. Travis said his New Year resolution was he was finally going to donate my foam fingers.
What? How many foam fingers do you think you have in order for you to...
Where are you donating them?
Can you just take those? Like, I think a Goodwill would be like one place that would be like, no, we don't.
Just imagine the homeless guy on the street. It's like, does that homeless guy have a foam finger on?
Number one homeless.
No
house, no problem.
We'll just go back and forth here. Who's next?
So we have Carol from Georgia. Try to finish a first date. So she apparently has never finished a first date?
Huh.
How bad of dates are these things?
And is she the one leaving, or is the other person leaving?
What if?
Because that's a good
You know
question.
what? Devil's advocate. What if it's Carol?
It might be Carol.
Maybe Carol wants to work on herself. Maybe they're all leaving mid-date because she's insufferable. Carol.
I mean, Carol from Georgia. Sounds
Carol,
pretty
insufferable.
there. John from Kentucky is only going to eat pizza rolls Once a week. Good for
Hey,
you,
John,
John.
buddy. John,
making
that's-
changes, buddy.
That's a lot of pizza rolls, bud.
Yeah.
I have pizza rolls once every year.
I can't remember the last pizza roll I've had.
That's not a regular
I could
thing
roll
for
a
me.
slice of the pizza that we get.
I'm
into
sure,
a roll.
yeah, but like pizza rolls are just like that's a lot, bud.
Yeah, that's
What was
a
he
lot.
doing before that?
Working at Domino's.
What kind of week would you have to have where you go home and be like, "This is a 2-boxer. I need 2 boxes
Also, to
of
eat
pizza
so
rolls."
many pizza rolls that your resolution is going to be to not eat as many pizza rolls. That's a lot of pizza rolls you must be eating.
That's a lot of pizza
That's a
rolls.
lot.
John, you okay, bud? Jeremy from New Jersey, drop 50 pounds and get a girlfriend. I like it.
I like it. Jeremy clearly is something that the author of Billionaire Bad Boys
Would hate
Club
you.
would hate.
Absolutely hate you.
Yes. So-
Jeremy, it sounds like you are every character but Damon and Bethany.
That's 100%. Get a girlfriend. Sure. All right. Good luck.
Jeremy, I think you're probably a long-time listener since you wrote in, but just do check back. We do give advice on how to get women
Yes.
in various episodes spread across this program.
This is anonymous, so this was somebody who did not include their name or their location. They said they're going to find a place to hide that body. You know what? Good
This
for you.
is the-
Good for you, guy.
Also, we don't want to be implicated in this. We're just
No, we're not
just
encouraging
a radio show.
We're not encouraging you in that action. We're more just
But
encouraging you.
But that's the goal. He said
Yeah.
it's a smart goal. It's specific, measurable, attainable, realistic,
Exactly.
and timely. They're going to find a place to hide that body. That is a goal. They set it, and they're going to achieve it. And
they could go.
objectively, body aside, we don't know what kind of body it is.
What is your favorite body burying spot or like body hiding spot? Mine is a marsh. Because marsh is filled with a lot of like gross flies and like crazy marsh-like swamp materials, and like
Right.
so who's going to go digging around in there, or who's going to just stumble into a swamp and find a body? It's not going to happen. Throw it in a marsh.
My place would probably be a landfill.
That's good.
Because, like, it's trash. No one's going to go through trash.
No one's going through trash. Another good place, a volcano.
Volcano
Hike to
is-
the top of Mount Doom. Like in
throw
Lord of the
them
Rings,
in.
throw the
in
body
free
in.
Middle Earth.
Yes.
I love it.
So those are just ideas. Don't follow our advice, Anonymous, but maybe you should.
So right on the heels of Anonymous, we have a Lieutenant McMiller, LAPD, California, catch the Christmas murderer.
Ah.
Now that does seem
Huh.
a little bit like it's connected to the first one.
Yeah. I
Maybe a little
guess.
cat and mouse. Maybe this is how they're communicating. Like maybe
Ooh,
we're
what
the
if-
conduit
God,
for
what
a
if
serial
what if
killer.
we were? That would be incredible. What if our emails every week were like from a serial killer communicating to the police?
And there's
the
some
police communicating to
detective
them?
lining to this, being like, "Oh no, not again! I've
gonna
lost
check.
the trail."
I'm checking to see if we've had any.
Any last minute
Oh.
submissions?
No, and no. Again, if you are a murderer, feel free to email us at the randomwordblog@gmail.com. We got one more here. Learn to ride a bike. That's from Christina from Maryland. So, I guess I hope she's not a kid listening
Right.
to the show with all the, talk we had earlier, which I'll bleep out that too, so no one's
Whoa.
gonna actually know what we're saying. What if they think that? What if I bleeped out so much from that that Damon scene that nobody's really sure what happened in that room?
It's just gonna make him read it.
Yeah, I like that idea. All right, Salty Dalton, I do believe you are getting a phone call.
Oh, got it. Slide to unlock. Hello, Random Word Podcast.
It is time for.
Wow, our show has been up until now, but you nail that timing.
Yeah, I think I got the volumes figured out now. We are into the call center.
Where we take your questions, your concerns, your uncertainties in life, and we give you a new perspective. We give you actionable advice to take forward in your life.
This is your opportunity to directly reach us and get specific advice for your specific situation. And we start things off with 28-year-old Kenneth, whose tagline is, "It's party time."
I like it.
That's a good phrase. You walk in a room, like meeting's about to
Party
start.
time.
Party
Catchphrase.
time? Do you add a question mark? Do you go party time?
I think it depends on the situation. If no one,
Party time.
if everyone's just kind of like sitting there not doing anything, you go party time.
Party
Time. So you follow. You first you question and then you direct.
So Kenneth is hosting a party for the first time, which is odd for a guy that his tagline is party time. This is the first time he's ever hosted a party. What kind of party games should I play? What if nobody plays them? Am I overthinking this? Please help.
Interesting. What kind of party games you think that they should go with? Are we talking like a pin the tail on the donkey, or should we do something a little more adult?
Yeah, I'd say Naked Twister.
Naked Twister is a perfect party game for first timers.
I agree.
And if you're really worried that it might not be a hit, all you got to do, buddy, just put out an ad on Craigslist.
Yes. I'm sure there are many takers for Naked Twister.
You will get quite a few people.
Even put in
play.
your ad like, "Hey, I'm a hot blonde."
I mean, not just that. It's a fun game. It's a adult twist on Twister.
Exactly.
And what it does is it builds really like intimacy, closeness, teamwork building.
Sure.
In fact, most like companies will use Naked Twister as a way to get team morale improved.
I think another possible game is Risk.
I think that's an amazing party game. You're full of these, dude. Risk is an incredible battle strategy, almost RPG-like game where you are in control of an army.
Yeah.
Imagine that. You are at the helm of your army. It only takes a cool 45-minute setup time and about a 6-hour play time. That is literally, it's a party in a box.
You're sure that you're going to be able to have, it's plenty of time filler there. Or maybe break out like a video game and let everybody have a shot. But, make sure it's like, Grand Theft Auto 5 or Red Dead Redemption 2. So everybody can have at least like an hour or so.
Just pass around the controller.
For the situation.
Yeah. Hour per hour. I love it. Yeah, no, it's gold. That's gold. Kenneth, party time Kenneth, party time
You got
Kay.
some ideas now.
You got some ideas. Go on and do that. So we have Kristen. She's 26, and RESPECT is a subject line. So respect.
I wonder what that stands for.
What?
Really early statistician prepares.
Prepares. Everybody.
Oh, nice. Everybody. Congo Tango. Makes sense.
Yeah, it works. Check that off. I just recently became a supervisor to a group of analysts. Ooh. The issue is that I used to be coworkers with all of them for several years. I feel like they don't take me seriously, and I can't get them to listen to me. Any pointers? Now, this is actually something that happens a lot, and when I took on a managerial role, I had to, and still do, I have to kind of, issue directives, take the heat for things. It's hard to draw that line between friend and coworker.
Or friend and enemy.
And friend and enemy, especially. So, as much as this is going to hurt, Kristen.
Physically, this is going to hurt.
What you're going to need to do, and it happens, is you're going to need a... And I don't mean that in this.
Jesus
okay.
Christ.
Let's, okay, how about that? Just bleep that out. You're going to need to set an example.
Oh, my God. Things were going great. We were off to a rocky start, but you know what? We turned it around.
I didn't mean it in that sense.
We turned it around right around Bad Book Club time, worked our way through some resolutions, and then you come in with call center and bring up 2019.
Okay, so what I meant is what you need to do is single out one of these coworkers and make
them
and
publicly.
Them metaphorically. What you need to do,
I'll be bleeping all that out.
what you need to do is you need to make an example of them. So you need to be like, "Hey Jim, I thought I told you to turn in that report," and he's like, "Yeah, well I'll get to it when I get to it."
Yeah,
I'm good for it. And you go, "No Jim, the deadline was Wednesday at 4."
Yep.
And he goes, "I'm sorry, I'll get it to you tomorrow. It's not a big deal." And you go, "Well Jim, it is a big deal.
Yeah.
Security's coming up to get you. You're fired."
100%. Yeah, that's good.
And then Jim, knowing you for 5 years and knows your kids, walks out that door. Everybody knows you're serious. At that point on, no one will question you.
Mine was going to be along the same lines, except for I was going to hire on Craigslist somebody to pose as a transfer or like a hire, and then but not only like fire them, but like go off on them, like curse up a storm, maybe even take out a knife and like just slice a little bit of like their cheek or something like that. But it's like a fake knife.
I am about this. Now get the hell out of my office.
And that will get them really involved. So Kristen, go ahead and do that.
Okay, yeah.
First some RSPCT.
Try that again. One more time.
RESPECT.
RESPECT.
Kristen. Now we move on to Grover. 27 has a little junk in the trunk, don't we all? Especially Damon. Man, he fits in a pair of slacks.
Too good, actually.
So Grover's moving jobs, and honestly, I've collected a lot of dumb on my desk. Seems a waste to throw it away, and I don't want to go desk to desk giving it away. eBay seems like a pain too. Thoughts? thoughts.
So
This is a real problem, actually.
first thing that came to mind, you need to take the eBay to the workplace. So what I'm saying is you have an auction at your work.
Print out signs,
It could be at any point in the
rent
day.
out the conference room.
Get a little thing, a gavel and a something. Make
Yeah.
some kind of like attention. And just random parts throughout the day. The auction is now starting. Hire like an auctioneer team.
Yeah,
Someone
exactly.
comes out with like a salt lamp and goes, you go, salt lamp. We got a salt lamp here. It is barely used. Just got it last year, and we're going starting bids at 20. Or people can throw out favors. Be like, I'll do your reports for 1 week. And you auction off things throughout the day, but you space it out, right? So people are on their toes. They want it. Then they start looking at your stuff. They're interested. They're eyeing what they want. They're developing bids. What you're going to do is you're going to take that useless stuff and create a bunch of favors or money.
That was incredible.
Those were empty.
Yeah, they were. Not like the ones that I spilled in 2018. Okay, no, I
was
like
last year,
that,
man.
though. I like creating that auction-like atmosphere in your work.
You could get a professional auction guy to literally just say numbers so fast.
I don't have anything better than that. I like that. What's our
Okay,
final
our
one
last
here?
one here is Denny. He's 23 and he's sleepy.
Denny.
Recently, I've been working 2 jobs to make some extra dollar signs.
Yeah, that happens.
I feel you, bro.
He's only making the signs
Dollar
out of
signs,
dollars.
yeah.
God damn it, this job is tough.
Listen, Denny, you got to obtain
It's hard
that.
to cut.
You got to obtain that grain.
Yeah, that's
I heard
true.
that from my buddy the other day.
Yeah.
My buddy Matt, he was like, you know how people say get that bread? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, it's outdated. It's 2019. It's time for obtain that grain.
I like it.
I love it. So I feel that. I feel that, Denny. This, however, has left me very sleep deprived, so I've been using my lunch breaks at my day job to catch some extra Z's.
Okay, I've been there.
The issue is I can't seem to find a good place to get some peace and quiet. I work in a pretty standard corporate office. We do have a parking garage outside if that helps. Please help me get some sleep.
So actually, this is a pretty common thing. This happened a lot at my last job. A lot of people would go during their lunch breaks and go sleep in their cars.
She used to take a lunch nap where on her actual lunch break she would go out to her car and sleep in it. You know, I tried that twice.
It's
my
not
car,
for me.
My car's in a parking garage too, so it's like, first of all, real creepy and disorienting when you wake up and you hear noises and water dripping.
Yeah.
But I've fallen asleep, and so I also wear contacts too.
Mm-hmm.
And so I wake up, my eyes are dry, I can't see that well, I'm confused, and I have a
And
headache.
you're in a dark.
Yes.
Yeah. No,
it is.
it's
so
tough.
first of all, let's throw that parking garage out of the equation. But
No, you
yeah,
don't want a parking garage
It's pretty
whatsoever.
common, you know. I feel like a lot of people try to get some good Z's. So how do
Here's what you're going to do. You're going to get in your car, and you're going to drive to the closest library, right? There should be. This will only work if there's a library close to your office. And then you're going to park in the parking lot. You're going to go into a library, naturally quiet place. You're going to go find one of those meeting rooms that they let you like go into. There's like quiet rooms in the library. And you're just going to go ahead and sleep there.
Okay.
You know it's going to be quiet.
Right.
You know no one's going to bother you. You sleep on the floor underneath where the door handle is, so if there is like a window, they can't see you.
Okay, good. He said lunch break, so I thought you were just saying, dude, it's in the middle of work. Just, hey, excuse me, I got to go to the bathroom.
No, you've got your half hour or your hour to work with. Find the nearest library. You know it's going to be quiet.
So
You're going to be good to go.
I have 2 solutions for this. Number 1, less plausible. Number 2, I think, is the gold mine.
Okay,
Number
let's hear
1,
it.
though,
Let's hear it.
I thought about this one, is you go into the... Yeah.
Oh, God, you can't. We should do that at the
School's
end
out
of
forever!
Oh, God, you almost hit the camera.
Max Keebler's big move.
I can't wait to go back and see that. The paper going directly in front of the camera. It's probably
That'd be-
cool.
it'll
Like
probably look-
zoomed in on the
yeah,
words.
it probably looked pretty good. So what you're going to need to do is, so you go into the bathroom, right? You
Okay.
close the stall, and then you make a deployable hammock, right? So you
Okay.
you could put it on the tops of the doors or something.
Sure.
But that way the door's locked. No one looks and sees feet underneath, so they're gonna just think it's out of order. And you can
Maybe even bring an out of order sign with you.
I'm dying.
Well, all your Heineken's on the floor.
You bring an out of order sign with you, stick it on there. You can nap suspended in a bathroom, but
I really like that.
could get loud and gross.
Yeah, I was
going
about to say worst possible place to be taking a nap.
But
Maybe
I
go
think
to a bathroom at a library.
There we go. Back to the
quieter-
library. We always go back to the library here.
It's a quiet place.
So the next best thing, and I think the greatest thing you can do here
Sure.
is you don't want to be disturbed, right?
No.
So the thing is, people are bothering him wherever he's sleeping.
Yeah.
Go into your boss's office. Go
This could get risky.
Go underneath the boss's desk. Not like. Oh God! Why do we have to read that chapter?
Go underneath the desk.
Or her. It's 2019.
You're right.
Oh. Okay. Gross. God damn it, Ben.
You know how much edit this episode's never getting up. You know how much editing it's gonna take.
So basically, you're underneath the desk. It's the last place anyone will ever look.
Unless you're Damon.
The boss won't even know if you play your cards right. I mean, the boss will know if you start doing things to them. But the thing is,
What do you mean? The boss? It's the boss's desk. How did he not
mean,
see
they're not gonna
you?
be-
What do you think? The boss is never
I
at
don't
their
look
desk?
under my desk the first time.
What do you mean you don't look under your desk? What are you talking about? How could a human being be underneath your desk without you seeing?
A boss's desk is huge.
Okay, still, I think they notice.
Dude,
You're a normal-sized person. You're not a child hiding underneath the desk or a dog.
You're hiding in plain sight, dude. It's the last place anyone will look, including your boss. A boss isn't gonna go in there and be like, "Oh,
Who the hell is down there? Johnson, what the hell are you doing? Get your off my...
the first thing you do, no one just checks under their desk."
I
immediately.
do every day.
Okay, but
Also, what desk design are you talking about? The desk doesn't go like over your lap and create like a blocking
some
mechanism.
do. It depends on the desk.
Don't you work in a cubicle?
Yeah, in my desk,
You can clearly see if
I
somebody.
can lie down underneath my desk, fully extended.
But somebody was.
No one will know.
That is the worst advice ever. Go to not just anyone's desk, the most important person in the office.
Drive to a library.
Oh, you know what's a really funny story on that same concept? Real quick, on at the company I used to work for.
Show's going off the rails.
At the company I used to work for, there was one night out of the year where we'd have to all be in the office till like midnight. It was the end of the fiscal year, and like things would get a little stir crazy. And one time, this team of people, they were playing hide and seek in the office, which is the dumbest thing ever. And one of them hid in the CEO's office. And he actually came into the office and was like, "What the f are you doing in here?" And like the guy's like, "I'm playing hide and seek." So there, in your scenario,
First of all, the answer to that question should never be.
'Cause I think
hello,
he was-
owner of this company.
I think he was under the desk. I think that's what the story was. He was hiding underneath the boss's desk, and clearly the boss is like, "This is a normal desk."
Okay, well, obviously that
I
desk.
clearly see somebody underneath there.
All I'm saying is, fine. Maybe it doesn't have to be underneath
So you
the
pick
desk.
the most important person in the company and choose that desk. Why don't you just hide
because
under?
no one's gonna go in there, and guess what? Maybe the CEO.
What do you mean no one's going to go in there? He's the most important person. There's people going in there in and out all day.
No, there's not. There's a
Especially on your
secretary
lunch
guarding the door out front.
Linda, she's so sexual
listen,
without being
I'll tell
sexual.
you, it's a really good idea. You're trying to poke holes.
You have the
in it.
hiccups. I love it.
God.
Do that. Wait, hold on. Before we sign off, do that technique. You take a giant breath. You swallow the air in your mouth. Take another breath. Swallow the air in your mouth. Don't let any air out.
I'm sorry.
You're doing it incorrectly.
Oh, God.
Let's start again. Take a giant breath. Swallow the air in your mouth. Don't let any air out. Take another breath. Okay. You can't laugh. Take another breath. Swallow the air. Okay. I'm hearing the swallowing. Take another breath until you can't do it anymore. Doctor.
God, you know what?
They're-
I don't know if it worked.
It worked because you're not hiccuping.
Why does that work? It's just the dumbest instructions.
It's not
like
dumb instruction.
take another breath. Don't let any air out. Swallow the air in your
It's
mouth.
very clear instruction.
You know how hard it is to swallow when someone says just swallow the air right now.
Swallow the air in your mouth. Yeah, there you go.
Gross. Anyway.
Yeah, my tongue always gets caught up. I got a big tongue. What can I say? So does Damon.
What? You know from experience. Were you under
Damon.
Damon's desk?
Yeah, boy, was I ever. and it was screaming somebody else's name during it.
I'm Ben, Ben, Ben.
What are you wondering? Why are you hiding on my desk? It's my lunch break. What do you want me to do?
Yeah.
I'm trying to take a nap here.
You mind?
Oh, God. Well, what a lovely start to 2019. We're here with episode 21. We did it. Look.
Tried and true in the audience right here. Terrence, how are you? Yeah, I'm doing good, guys. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you, too.
We survived. We survived the
Are
episode.
you going to say hi to Terrence? You're just going to ignore Terrence.
I don't
right
like
there.
Terrence. I don't like the way he looks at me.
Ben, you too.
He's always hiding underneath my desk. I don't get it.
Yo, Terrence is upset at you.
Actually, that would be kind of scary. Terrence is a strong guy. He would rip me to shreds, actually, physically with his hands, like a notepad. He would rip it in half.
Rip you like a notepad.
Strong people rip phone books and stuff.
Right.
Have you ever ripped a phone book?
You know how intimidating that would be in a meeting if you sat down and then you just looked at your like notepad, which is not like it's not super thin, but it's like
just
pretty
ripped
thick.
it clear in half.
Ripped it in half.
That's
like
power
someone's
move.
like, "Hey, does anyone have any extra paper?" And you just rip
Power
it
move.
and then give them half your notebook.
Well, that was episode 21
That was something.
of the Random Word Podcast. It was something. We got some cool things planned out for you this year. Hopefully, better than this piece of garbage. Oh God! But the folks love it, and we love you.
Yeah.
Let's again. One of the things that we were going to do here is before we end each episode, Salty Dalton is going to offer a piece of advice
Oh
on
God.
anything on the planet. It could be any advice. My personal advice would be don't hide under your CEO's desk, but that's not my bit. So I'll go ahead and turn it to you. What is your piece of advice before we end the show?
Okay. Never place your drink directly underneath a ceiling fan because it will get dust in it.
There it is. There you have it. Salty Dalton give his advice. That about does it for the show. Sayonara, suckers.
We outie.